Alright, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrick and this is Valor Aquaponics. I actually wanted to post this video last week, but something happened where the front half, the first couple clips of the that I recorded just kind of disappeared. And I didn't want to kind of piecemeal two different videos or a bunch of videos from two different weeks because a lot happens in the course of a week here. So I just kind of want to show you what's going on with the farm and just kind of give you an update on basically what's going on here. So let's get started. Let's move over here. So I actually just got in a few minutes ago, so none of these guys have been fed, and as you can see, we got our little friend here. He's a little nervous about the camera, but he loves to be fed. So we're gonna got quite a few fish in here, so we want to make sure we give them plenty. There's also some little guys, as you can see right over here, so give them about that much. These guys don't need as much. There's only a couple of these guys in here. So you can see. And then these are the giant guys. These guys take a ton of food. As you can see, they're pretty big. So we'll give them about that much, and then we got to feed our full-size tilapia, which you're not going to really see. So let's kind of go back over to this first bed here, kind of show you what's going on. So this is our pepper bed, as you can see, and it's actually doing fantastic. So you can see right here, got a bunch of cayenne peppers right here. There's got to be at least 20 or 30 in here. They're kind of hard to find until they turn red. So like we got two more here. I got the doors open because it's gorgeous out right now. So it's like 64 degrees. Sunny here in Wisconsin, so gotta have the door open, get some fresh air through here. These are the jalapenos. So we've got like this, I don't know if you guys can see with the sun here. We got another one right here. So decent size. These guys are super spicy. These are really fantastic. We actually took a couple. So here, like you can see here. So I actually took a couple and made my famous clam spaghetti with it. It gives it a little spice. So yeah, these guys are doing fantastic. We're actually going to be taking up these chives here, and we're going to be planting more peppers. And I have those seeds coming in this week, so stay tuned for that. So ghost peppers are, this thing's like double, tripled in size, and they're actually finally really starting to grow out, as you can see. So they kind of look tiny like that one, and then over the course of a week or two, they kind of turn into that. So it's starting to happen with the serranos. So like this one, and then that one over there. So things are going really well over here. We're still getting tons of peppers out of here. So it just looks like a mess because the rafts are kind of dirty, mainly from like old pots that we had. But they're still doing really well. And then these guys are the tomatoes. I just put these up. Did the vertical strings. There's actually a bunch back here. There's a couple stalks I got to get up, but I need a second pair of hands. But as you can see, they're actually all the way through now to the top. So I have to start weaving that one through the netting because I don't want these to go vertical. I want them to start going intertwined into the netting here. So these guys are doing fantastic. And then I got all these guys up. So we got them on string. Then we use these little clasps And these are fantastic because they're about, I would say, 3/4 of an inch to an inch diameter, and it gives ample space for the root stems to grow, because I mean they're gonna go from like this little tiny stem, and they're gonna get like big like these guys. So, and they'll even get bigger than this. So gives it ample space to grow. So the whole point of this is as this starts to grow higher, we're going to keep putting more and more clamps on until they get all the way up through here, and then we can weave everything through there. So everything's doing really well in here. These are all tomatoes. These are Wisconsin 55 tomatoes, and these are 2 types of cherry tomatoes. So hopefully in the next hopefully 3 weeks we'll start having some flowering for the cherry tomatoes. So hopefully, fingers crossed. And then this is the 3rd bed, and this is the strawberry bed, and these things are doing amazing, except for that little guy over there. He's not doing as well, but everybody else is doing really well. So as you can see, they've grown quite a bit. They're starting to multiply, like mitosis over here. So, and then they've got some weird little things going on. So another set right there growing. So they're really starting to take off. That's kind of what we figured. Once they got to be, once the leaves got to a certain size, we felt that they were going to really start taking off. So then that's kind of what's happening. So we're hoping in the next month we'll start getting some flowers for some strawberries. So that would be really cool. And the neat thing about this is, even though that we weren't able to get these seeds certified organic, we were able to get them non-GMO. It took us probably close to 6 weeks to find non-GMO seeds. And so we just had our USDA inspection last week, so things went pretty well. We had some minor issues that have already been taken care of. So the good thing is that these are non-treated, non-GMO seeds, and we're growing them organically. So we should be able to get these guys certified organic. So doing really well here. The perch pond is still doing well. It's still pretty clear. They're all hiding out underneath the rafts. They don't like being out, especially when there's such small numbers. So, but the filtration is doing phenomenal. So, and then I'm gonna try to put a light in here so you guys can see the tilapia, because they're freaking huge. They're gigantic. We saw them the other day. Devin and I did. So you know, we want to show you guys sooner than later. And our microgreens that we've got going on. And then we actually, so that's our next batch over here that are still covered. I think they're a day, no, one more day and I can actually uncover them. So, and then these are our next batch of lettuce that we've already planted. We're just kind of waiting for them to sprout. So Devin actually spent quite a bit of time in here this week, and he did a lot of reorganizing. So as you can see, it's super clean. We used to have that tub over there used to be over here, and he cleared all this out. We're actually getting ready to actually move these shelves because we're going to put them against the wall. So this shelf will be over here. This shelf will be kind of where that is, and then we're going to move that fridge over to just this side of the outlet, because we're going to be putting in, so this is going to be our R&D area, our research and development. So we're going to have, eventually we're going to have a couple beds over here of various things. So like we're going to have different substrates, and we're going to be able to play with some technology and stuff like that. But that's for the future. That's probably not going to happen for a little while. But you know, really pleased with what Devin did. He worked really hard this week, so he got all this cleared out. Did a really good job. So then here we have our basil. So we replanted our basil, and we decided to just put them back over here, and we'll probably just keep them here. So they're probably a couple weeks, at least 2 weeks from being able to be harvested. So they got to get to about 6 inches, and then the leaves got to get quite a bit bigger. But we do have quite a bit going. And what's cool is that these two rafts with these little guys right here, so these guys are second generation. So these are using our very own seeds that we collected from all that stuff that I'll show you guys in a second. So this is actually second generation organic basil. we're hoping that this is going to actually end up growing better than this stuff. But it's because every time for every generation that you grow, it becomes a little bit more acclimated to your system. So by the third generation, you should have a pretty well acclimated seed. So this is second generation. After this, we'll be able to harvest this, and then we'll have third generation acclimated seeds. So we're really excited for that. Up here, we have all of our lettuce. So I believe this is butterhead right here. And then we've got some leafy greens, or green leaf lettuce. And then we've got, further down, we've got red leaf lettuce. So I mean, we've got, you know, probably well over 1,000 heads of lettuce, along with, you know, the 5 trays that we have over there. So we've got a lot in the works. Now that it's finally cooler in here, you know, it's actually staying about 70 degrees inside the warehouse now, which is a lot more comfortable than when it was 80 degrees or 90. I think at one point it was 98 degrees in here. So everything's starting to do a lot better. So here's more lettuce. This is dark green lettuce right here. So this is fairly young. This is a couple weeks older. So this batch right here. Well, this is probably only a couple weeks away from harvest. Same thing with these guys. This is red leaf lettuce. And we have 2 types of red leaf. So we have red leaf, which is kind of more like a bib lettuce. And then we have the red oak leaf, which is looks kind of more like a maple leaf. Looks more like an oak leaf. So that's why they call it an oak leaf. Looks a lot different. We'll show you guys once because we have a bunch of oak leaf on that other bed, but it's going to be a couple weeks before you can really see that. But these guys are doing really well. Yeah, definitely a couple weeks from harvest, so we're really looking forward to having some additional sales here. So this is all the dead, or mostly dead. We still have a couple really good basil plants. So like, look at this. So this basil plant's still doing well, and look at this leaf, and it smells amazing. But we're still collecting these seeds right here. So these are flowers that have kind of just basically died, and within these flowers, you're not going to be able to really see. There's little black seeds in there. So we actually have to harvest it by hand. So we'll be harvesting these 2 rafts here. This raft, I believe this raft, and then the rest of these rafts we have to still harvest. So we're going to have thousands of seeds available for future plantings, and that's all going to be second generation. So worst case scenario, if something happens to all those over there, we can replant it with our second generation seeds. We'll actually end up with all these seeds, we're going to actually end up having enough seeds for a couple years. And that's kind of the goal, is we want to have plenty of seeds in case anything happens. So we're really excited that we can harvest our own seeds. We've already spoken with the USDA certifying agency, and they have no problems with us harvesting our own seeds and reusing them, because we do grow everything organic. We did pass our inspection, so they are perfectly okay with us reusing our seeds. The only time it really matters is if we try to sell the seeds. We have to go through a whole different process to get them certified and make sure they're not treated and things like that. So we're not quite there yet, because I mean, you guys know financially we're still struggling a little bit, so we don't want to add any more. Basically, we don't want to add any more cost. But yeah, we look forward to tearing all these out. I mean, we do have a good basil plant back there, so we do want to try to keep those as much as possible. But we are going to harvest anything that's dead and that actually has seeds. All right, so let's go up here. So you guys remember this? This is the trout pond. I almost forgot what I was saying here. And we had to put in this filtration unit, and it's actually fully cycled now. So it's been probably about a month since you guys have seen this, maybe a little more, maybe 5 weeks. So it's fully cycled. And we've actually only lost 2 trout. So you remember how like this used to be all like, you used to have like 6 or 7 trout that were floating upside down? Well, almost all of them recovered. Only 2 of them didn't recover. And actually one of them just died earlier this week. So we were hopeful that he would recover, or he or she would recover. They didn't, but everybody else did. And let me show you guys how well they've recovered. So I haven't fed these guys yet, so it's time to feed them. So they're not used to seeing a camera, so they might be a little camera shy. As you can see, they're alive. They're hard to see, and part of it is that our water has a tint of brown to it, and that's just how it naturally comes out of the faucet. It's a little bit of brown, and then you add in the black liner, and then you add in a dark fish. They're really hard to see. So yeah, I mean, it's not a whole lot we can do at this point, but it's nice to know that they are alive. This filtration system is doing really well. So what we do is every day I come over here, I open this valve up, which is going to dump basically poop out of the solids filter here from the bottom. It's going to come through here, it's going to dump down. So this pipe actually goes down about 3 feet. And it's going to dump all the poop down there. That's where it's swirling. And I actually let it fill up. Basically, I let it fill up this tank here. So we're almost there. So I'm just emptying out the tank. So that's about full right there. So I let that fill up, and then so that's eventually going to drain down into here. This is the mineralization tank. So as you can see, we have like sponges and bioballs in there. That's where all the bacteria are, and that's where everything is getting broken down into your nitrates and your nitrites. So then it gets pumped up into these beds. So the newest thing that we have, actually it's not something that we have. Let me I left the fish food over here, and let me grab the fish food, because we did make a slight change. Here's my fish food. We need to come back over here because we did make an adjustment to this bed. So as you guys can see, we actually lit this bed up, so there's a light in here, and we actually moved fish into here. You're not going to be able to see them really well. They are, but you remember those tilapia? So there you go, you can see them swimming around. Remember the tilapia that were in the 44 gallon or the 40 gallon aquarium? Well, they're now in here. So we took them out. We felt bad for keeping them because they were starting to get really big. So we felt bad about having all those tilapia in such a small tank. So we moved them into here. So imagine going from like a little studio apartment, like a 300 square foot studio apartment, to now going into like a 20,000 square foot mansion. That's kind of what's happened here. So a lot of these guys, see if I can get this to focus. So they're kind of skittish. So they're confused. I mean, it's been a couple days, but they're still adjusting, but they're doing well. So and they're actually cleaning up. So some of this on the bottom is actually was algae. They've actually been eating it. And then what's also helping is that since they're swimming around, they're actually helping move some of this, whatever is not edible. It's actually helping move down to the pump that's actually sitting over in this corner. And that pump goes up into this filtration system. So the water is actually pretty, I mean, it's about as clear as it's going to get with the brown water that we have, but it's doing really well. And we're really happy that these guys finally have a big tank. There's about, I believe there's 44 blue tilapia in here, and they're probably about 2 to 3 inches long. Remember, we got them as babies. They were probably about 3/4 of an inch long when we got them. Some of them as small as 1/2 inch. So it's nice that we're able to finally move them into a bigger tank where they can grow, they can get big, they can be happy. You know, we're all about trying to make our fish as happy as possible, because you know, a happy fish is a healthy fish, and a healthy fish is going to really help your system. So you know, we don't like to be cruel. You know, we want to treat our fish as well as possible. Even though some of these fish will be, I mean, I don't know if these guys will ever be consumed. If we do consume them, they'll be for personal consumption. We just mainly use them for the poop in this germination bed. But for like the trout though, you know, we do plan on selling those, and you know, less stress is definitely a lot better for the fish. So it makes them stay healthy. The meat's gonna taste a lot better in the long run. So we have plenty of air in here. Now, I don't have to have this much air in here for tilapia. Tilapia really don't need as much air, but I just like to be safe. I'd rather have more air than not enough. So this is about 200, right now this is probably about 260 gallons that's filled. I could fill it up to about 290, but they're still kind of small, so I think this is perfectly fine. But we're really happy that these guys are in here. We're looking forward to them getting tremendously bigger, so look for that in future videos. Now let me finish up, let me move over and I'll finish up the video here. All right, so I'm actually just gonna stay in here. I'm actually right in the way of the fan, so I am actually getting this really nice breeze along with the breeze through the door, so it actually feels fantastic. So and once again, thank you guys for watching the video. The biggest way you guys can help us is really just hit that like button, subscribe to our videos. I know they're kind of sporadic. It can take sometimes up to 6 to 8 weeks for me to post a new video. It's because there's a lot going on. Like I said, I work 7 days a week here, and then I work another full-time job, and we're actually getting into the busy season over there. So I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to balance as much as possible. So please forgive me. I am trying my best. So as you can see, things are looking up for the farm in terms of the vegetables. We've got quite a few peppers behind me that are going to be ready for harvest in the next couple weeks. We have lettuce that's going to be ready in a couple weeks. So a lot of potential here for sales coming up, but we're still struggling because we're kind of just relying on a small order of microgreens every week. So anything you guys can do to help us, we do have our Weed Funder. That's the primary campaign that we're going to focus on. I believe we have about $6,500 raised on there. You can give as little as, I believe, $100, or you can give $100,000, and basically all of that goes to the farm. So that goes to, you know, the first $50,000 goes to all working capital, and all of that working capital goes to paying for our building lease, our utility payments, buying seeds, buying supplies. All of that goes for actual product in the house, in our warehouse. So anything above, so when we get to like $75,000 though, we're going to start using some of that to help pay for Devin to work here, because and he'll be working here full time because he's able to do that. It's a little bit better because he actually has less living expenses, so it's actually cheaper. He can live on less money, whereas I have larger expenses, especially when a lot of this is actually in my name, so a lot of the debt. So but we are hopefully still going to work on Devin working on another investor. He's hopefully going to be going on another, hopefully in the next week to 10 days is kind of what our goal is, and hopefully we'll have something nailed down. But we are still looking for help. So Weed Funder, I have the link in the description below. If you guys want to do something separate, you guys want to come up, you guys want to talk to us direct, you can always message me or email me at fresh@valoraquaponics.com. But yeah, we've got a lot going on. There's a lot of potential here. We're really excited for where we're headed. We really think that by the end of the year, we're going to be able to be net neutral, which means we will be able to at least pay all of our expenses in-house through sales. And then hopefully going into the new year, we'll actually be able to start turning a profit, just basically. And then I think within 3 months, so end of the first quarter of 2022, I think we're going to start seeing a fairly significant revenue increase, and we're, especially with us expanding so much. I mean, we still have the Grow Oasis bed that actually just came in, but we haven't put it up yet because we're dealing with some issues with our lender. They're kind of being jerks about some stuff, so we're trying to figure that out. So we don't have any lights for the system, so there's no point in building the beds. We don't have the lights, so hopefully that gets hashed out on Monday. We'll stay tuned for that. I mean, that's been a nightmare. That's kind of where we're at. Lots of great things in the works. Still not there financially. Well, the promise is there because, as you can see, we actually have a lot of proof that things are actually growing, and we're actually getting to a really good part of the year where the temperatures are down, humidity's down, so things are starting to grow really well here. So that's primed us for a tremendous sales going into fall and into winter. So once again, we're fundraising on wefunder.com, and then otherwise you guys can also contact us direct at fresh@ValorAquaponics.com. We also have a foundation called the Valor Foundation. It is a nonprofit. We currently are not 501c3, but we do plan on filing for that hopefully within the month. So by the end of the year, everything will be tax deductible. So you can actually give through there, and you can actually find a donation link through PayPal on our webpage, which is ValorAquaponics.com. If you go up into the top part of the menu, you can actually see Valor Foundation. It'll take you to the Valor Foundation page. And it's basically paying for our research and development and things like that. So I hope you guys I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, to help us, please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. We always love your words of encouragement. And please share our videos. We're not monetized yet because we're lacking the hours. So if you guys can really help us do that, because then that money will really help us to offset a lot of the costs here, because we do have quite a bit of cost. About $5,500 a month is what it costs to run this farm on a monthly basis. So anything you can do to help us would be fantastic. So I hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday. I hope you guys have nice weather like we do, and we'll see you guys next time.